Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're a retail or FMCG executive, you already know the heat is on. Consumer trends are shifting literally overnight, and making the right call is getting harder by the minute. Today, we're diving into a massive upgrade for your strategic playbook, a technology called EmptoSight. The name is actually a kind of cool hybrid. Emptor means customer in Latin, and sight is for insight. They are an AI-native company that's completely replacing slow, expensive market research with a brand new category, synthetic consumer intelligence. So let's unpack exactly how they're doing this.
The contrast here is absolutely stark. We're talking about the old way, which takes 3 months, versus the new way, which takes just 1 day. Think about it. Relying on an innovation cycle that takes a quarter of a year. It's like steering a speedboat while looking backward through a telescope. By the time you actually get the insights, well, the market's completely moved on. EmptoSight compresses that incredibly sluggish timeline into a lightning-fast 24-hour cycle built for the reality of modern retail.
Let's dive into Section 1, the Consumer Intelligence Crisis.
To really get why this solution is a game changer, we have to admit something tough. Traditional market research is fundamentally broken. It's basically a system built for a totally different era. You know the daily headaches, right? It takes weeks or months, it costs an absolute fortune, and it's geographically limited. And worse, those static panels you're relying on, they're inherently biased and totally disconnected from real day-to-day behavior. The world has moved on to dynamic behavioral segments, but static surveys just keep anchoring us to rigid, outdated demographics.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Synthetic Intelligence Shift.
So what exactly is this shift we're talking about? Let's demystify it a bit. We're moving away from these highly fragmented data ecosystems. Synthetic consumer intelligence isn't just some shiny new dashboard or a basic consultancy offering. No, it's a full-on AI-powered infrastructure that fuses hard, real-world behavioral data with advanced AI simulation. The result? It generates virtual shopper populations. Basically, these are highly accurate digital twins of your actual consumers. And this lets you run real-time scenario testing predictively instead of constantly relying on static, backward-looking surveys. This completely shifts your fundamental capabilities. You're moving away from static surveys that just report what happened in the past, right straight into dynamic behavioral simulation. It's a massive jump from descriptive dashboards to predictive scenario intelligence. Your executive team doesn't have to look backward in the rearview mirror anymore. You're actively simulating the future. Moving on to Section 3, fusing receipts with AI. Now look, whenever executives hear AI simulation, a little skepticism is totally natural. Is this just some black box guessing game? Not at all. EmptoSight grounds its models in absolute real-world truth, starting with a massive foundation of over 450,000 products. They built this huge scale through strategic data partnerships, like with platforms such as Kumpara, making sure their virtual consumers are trained on an incredibly vast range of actual retail items across traditional, modern, and online channels. And it gets even more granular than that. Over 200,000 actual retail receipts inform the data layer over the last 12 months alone. This is absolutely crucial, so emphasize this in your mind. These synthetic populations aren't based on what consumers say they might buy in some theoretical survey. They are anchored in hundreds of thousands of actual completed sales. We're talking hard behavioral signals here. It's literally the difference between asking someone if they eat healthy and actually going through their grocery receipt. The accuracy of this approach is honestly brilliant. When you track the real people against the AI simulation, the alignment is stunning. Whether you're analyzing the impact of promotions and loyalty programs, or zooming in on specific product features like scent or eco-friendliness, the simulation mirrors real-world preferences incredibly well. These synthetic shoppers behave almost exactly like your actual target market. Because the simulation is just so accurate, it allows you to dynamically segment your market. For instance, revealing that 40% of your base are smart savers, or 20% are healthy pragmatists. But the real magic, it's in the actionability. The system might reveal that those healthy pragmatists actually have a much lower price sensitivity once a brand establishes trust, or that functional health claims have way higher demand among specific urban professionals. You can take that exact insight and immediately optimize your targeted promotions in CRM personalization. It's a real game changer.
Now for Section 4, accelerating executive decisions.
So, what does this synthetic intelligence actually mean for your bottom line? How does it change your day-to-day operations? Well, it all comes back to a single, incredibly powerful capability:
evaluating new product concepts, forecasting trends, and optimizing pricing, all within a single day. Just imagine testing a new product's packaging, its price point, and the promotion strategy against a perfectly calibrated synthetic audience, and then having definitive answers ready for your morning strategy meeting tomorrow.
The impact of that speed and accuracy is staggering. 8,600%. That is the massive potential impact on campaign ROI and effective marketing budget utilization. When innovation decisions carry high risk, deploying capital based on slow, outdated surveys is basically a gamble. But by utilizing predictive simulation and optimizing campaigns before a single real-world dollar is even spent, enterprises can drastically reduce their risk and maximize their budget effectiveness.
This whole vision is perfectly captured in their core philosophy. Not a dashboard, not a consultancy. Infrastructure. EmptoSight is led by highly rigorous academic experts, Dr. Didam Gundogu and Dr. Oner Gungor. With deep backgrounds in PhD-level computer science and computational social science, they aren't just selling some shiny reporting tool. They're building a fundamental, privacy-safe operating system designed to give you true enterprise-grade insights and scalable AI sovereignty.
Which leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought to consider. Are your innovation cycles moving at the speed of the market or at the speed of your surveys? The world has already moved on to real-time, behavioral simulation. Relying on slow data and a fast-moving market is just a competitive disadvantage. It really is time to seriously look at embracing synthetic consumer intelligence to bring tomorrow's insights into today's decisions. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I genuinely hope this sparks some serious conversations in your next strategy meeting.